500 dead or alive. He came riding in from nowhere with a 6-gun on his side, dust caked to his leather coat and shadows in his eyes. No one knew his real name, just the stories folks would tell. Some say he shot a marshal, then lit a town on fire and yelled. He robbed a stage in Tulsa, left a trail of busted dreams. The banker's wife said he was kind but cruel beneath the scenes. The preacher saw him laughing as the jailhouse burned away. Now there's blood on wanted posters and a price the law will pay. 500 dead or alive. Like whispers from the grave. The bounty man just drinks his ride and rides out mean and brave. He don't talk much, don't pray none, just lets the silence grow. Cause the only thing he's chasing is the outlaw that won't The townsfolk speak in whispers, and they lock their doors at night. Kids don't play in alleys now, too scared of any sight of boot tracks in the morning, where none should ever be. The outlaw leaves his warning, ain't no chains can hold me. I will always be free. They nailed his face to every pole, from Deadwood down to Rome. $500 dead or alive, no mercy, no man's home. But there's a man in black who hunts for pay, and he's been riding hard. And he just got wind that the devil's loose, leaving nothing but a scar. So saddle up and say your piece, the reaper's drawing near. One rides for blood and vengeance, one rides to disappear. And out across the canyon, where the buzzards like to fly, a storm is coming heavy, and someone's gonna die. 500 dead or alive. Someone's gonna die. outside the swinging door, eyes locked on that table, boots nailed to the floor. The outlaw cracked a grin, holding 3 worn aces tight. Then their eyes met in that whiskey haze. One's here to kill, one's here to fight. Across the street a stranger waits, a black hat pulled down low. He's watching every shuffle, waiting for the show. 500 dead or alive. Now someone's gonna die. The piano man froze mid-note, his boots scraped across the floor. Every drunkard dropped their glass and stared toward the door. That bounty man stood shadowed, dust rolling off his coat. Said, "You're worth my if you're breathing, but I'll take you dead, you know." The outlaw didn't flinch a bit, just smiled through his drink. He said, "Well, I guess you found me faster than I think." He rose up slow and steady, hand drifting near his side. Said, "We both knew this was coming, so let's enjoy the ride." The room went cold and silent, folks backed against the wall. The dealer dug for cover, a barmaid made a crawl. But just before the fire flew and justice made its claim, that old barkeep slammed his shotgun down and shouted out their names. Take it outside, boys, don't ruin my floor. I just cleaned the bloodstains from the fight the night before. If you're gonna trade your bullets, I won't stand in the way, but do it in the street where God and dust decide who stays. The bounty tipped his hat, said, "Fair enough, I'll wait." The outlaw cracked his knuckles, pushing past the gate. The saloon door slapped behind him like a drum before a war, as every eye and trembling hand drifted slowly to the door. silence loud as sin. A tumbleweed rolled past them like it knew what happened then. And up above the rooftops, folks whispered with their breath, one rides on, the other's gonna die. Main Street, not a single voice was heard, just the creak of weathered shutters and the flapping wings of birds. Kids peeked through the curtains, moms held their youngin' tight as the clock struck high noon and the dust caught fire with light. The preacher crossed his fingers, whispered one last prayer, while the blacksmith watched with heavy eyes, suet still in his hair. The saloon girl gripped the door frame, trembling in her shoe. She once danced with the outlaw and shared the bounty's blues. They stood like carved out statues, no words to waste or spare. A breeze rolled through their long coats like ghosts that filled the air. The bounty's hand was steady, the outlaw's grin was gone. Two lives soaked in vengeance, now only one would carry on. A pistol cracked like thunder, then a second split the sky. The schoolmarm screamed and ducked her head, a baby started to cry. Both men staggered backward, blood blooming through their chests, still staring straight into each other like they'd settle all the rest. The outlaw hit the hitching post and slid down to the ground. The bounty stumbled sideways but refused to make a sound. He dropped down near his rival, both breathing shallow, slow. The outlaw whispered, "Well, you got me, friend, let's go." They died there in the silence as the townsfolk stared in awe. No winner left to celebrate, no justice, peace, or law. Just two men bound by fire, by choices long and deep, now buried side by side in the same damn field of sleep. Don't trust the cards, don't chase the past. The story always ends too fast. The good, the bad, the brave, the bold, they all end up the same and cold. So raise the glass, then walk away. Two legends died that day. And the wind still whispers rumors when the sun burns high and wide, of the bounty and the outlaw, and the day they both took that ride. silence as the townsfolk stared in awe. No winner left to celebrate, no justice, peace, or law. Just two men bound by fire, by choices long and deep, now buried side by side in the same damn field of sleep. Don't trust the cards, don't chase the past. The story always ends too fast. The good, the bad, the brave, the bold, they all end up the same and cold. So raise a glass, then walk away. Two letters died that day, and the wind still whispers rumors when the sun burns high and wide of the bounty and the outlaw, and the day they both took that ride. Took that ride. To raise a glass, then walk away. Two legends died that day, and the wind still whispers rumors when the sun burns high and wide of the bounty and